And this is the product of collaboration between the ATO ClimatEducate Project and the Nepalese Youth for Climate Action. And through our collaborative partners in various provincial chapters of NYCA in Chitwan, Pokhara, Baitadi, Syangja, and Climate Nepal, IAAS, LC HICAST, and Kathmandu Climate Save, and of course our partner in Nigeria, Break Free Plastic Initiatives. So we just had a technical problem, and then we'll just proceed with the presentations. First, I would like to call on Ms. Yoshika Suberi Ms. Casey Shreya of the Nepalese Youth for Climate Action. She will deliver her short statement of introduction regarding the webinar. I guess this is a total problem. Let us proceed with Mr. Manish Gautam of NYCA Chitwan.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm representing NYCA Chitwan. It's me, Manish Gautam. I would like to greet all the representatives of different organizations. I have been working as the coordinator of NYCA Chitwan for about 2 years, and we are working to raise climate awareness among the people here in Chitwan and nearby districts. NYCA Chitwan is a group of youths who are both climate enthusiasts as well as agriculturists. They are highly motivated to contribute mitigating the impacts of climate change in the field of agriculture sector. I will also be speaking in this webinar about certain topics related to climate smart agriculture. And okay, I wish all the best to all the participants and express my gratitude for granting this opportunity to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Manish Gautam. And then we'll proceed with Saugat Takal of NYCA Syangja in Nepal. Okay, I guess there's a technical problem. Let's proceed to Ms. Diksha Subedi of NYCA Pokhara. Again, NYCA Pokhara. All right, I guess there's a technical problem. Let's proceed to Mr. Biraj Paudel of NYCA Baitadi. Again, Mr. Biraj Paudel of NYCA Baitadi. I think, all right, I think Ms. Diksha Subedi is online. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Okay.
I'm Diksha Subedi. I'm from NYCA Pokhara. I'm working as a school campaign coordinator since 1 year. Are you listening me?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. All right. So we'll proceed with Mr. Biraj Paudel of NYCA Baitadi.
Hello, everyone. Are you listening me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Biraj Paudel, representing the NYCA Baitadi. NYCA Baitadi is a chapter of a NYCA located at the Baitadi district of Nepal. And currently, I'm working as media coordinator in the team. As we are well known about the effect of climate change, our team is actively planning and plotting and working on minimizing those activities which are responsible for the climate change in our locality. We are actively doing this by by launching a different programs and giving the training to the local farmers to stabilize their agriculture, and they are taught how we are responsible for it and what we can do to minimize or to mitigate the problem of climate change in the field. We are helping, or we are giving the one-day training to the locals about the management of different plastic waste, which are plastic waste, recycling, reuse, and also aware the people about minimizing the use of those undecomposable substances. We are launching a different programs such as plantation programs, which will help in mitigating the effect of carbon emission. We have a different field activities such as agroforestry. We are providing the farmers, teaching the farmers about the carbon smart plantation like IPM, agroforestry, further management, biogas, and such activities we are carrying for in our team. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Viraj Paudel. And let's proceed to Mr. Rajesh Kunwar of ClimatEducate Nepal. Again, Mr. Rajesh Kunwar of ClimatEducate Nepal. Okay, I think there's a technical problem. Let's proceed to Ms. Abish Shakya of Kathmandu Climate Save.
Hi everyone, I'm Abhi Shakya. I represent Kathmandu Climate Save. So Kathmandu Climate Save is a group that primarily works on, it's a group of animal activists to be honest, and we're working on ending animal agriculture, greening the earth and phasing out fossil fuels. So we're a part of a group, Nepal's branch of a group called the Climate Save Movement. It's a movement similar to Extinction Rebellion. So it's like we've got 184 groups in 48 countries. So the climate change movement is globally working on ending the deforestation of Amazon rainforest. And in Nepal, we're trying to save a local forest called the Nizgard, where an airport is trying to be built. So yeah, pretty much that's us. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Shakya. And let's proceed to Mr. Muhammad Shamsuddin Ibrahim from Break Free from Plastic Initiative from Nigeria.
Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please proceed.
I am Ibrahim Muhammad Shamsuddin from Break Free from Plastic Initiative, which is in Nigeria. Actually, the initiative is an initiative working solely on creating awareness among the locals on the need for climate action, providing climate smart technologies and ideas towards combating climate change. I personally am the founder of Break Free from Plastic Initiative Nigeria, which has its roots and headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad. And let's proceed to the last one, Ms. Prashant Raj Giri of IAAS Local Committee. Okay, I think since we're running out of time, let's proceed to the introduction of our first speaker from the Philippines. Okay, okay. So again, these are the information about the participating organizations in this webinar. And I believe that they're doing a great job in the field of climate change advocacy and education, and as well in agriculture. So the objectives of this webinar is to clarify and give more information about climate smart agriculture. The second one is to provide more insights and feasible solutions on how the youth can engage in climate smart agriculture. And the last one is to exchange ideas and solutions regarding particular adaptation solutions in the agriculture sector. So let's proceed to, okay, so the target audience that we have is high school students in Asia Pacific and Africa. And the second one is the youth climate and environmental advocates from around the world, as well as climate smart agriculture advocates. So we have the webinar program here. And the first, just to introduce you, is Mr. Erwin from the Philippines. He is a licensed agriculturist and an urban farmer. Erwin has been working for urban food security since 2016, and he started Urban Agriculture PH. So it's a go-to resource Facebook page for urban agriculture news and tips, tricks in the Philippines. The following year saw the growth of his advocacy as he worked on the development of the urban farm at East Rembo, Makati City in the Philippines, as part of the Change Project under the Future Bridging Leaders Program of the Asian Institute of Management. Again, everyone, it's my honor to introduce to you Mr. Erwin Belen from the Philippines.
All right. Is everyone hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So, mabuhay from the Philippines. So it's good night here. It's evening. So good evening to everyone. So I'll be presenting our project in East Rembo, Makati. So I'll just share. Can I share my presentation?
Oh, sure. I will just stop the sharing, right? Okay.
All right. I'll be sharing my presentation here. So first, let me tell you a story. So I am an agriculturist by profession, and it is my passion to do urban agriculture. So if you will see in the picture, that's the lettuce I grew from our house. And actually, I started my advocacy in urban agriculture when I was working with a private firm here in the Philippines. So we go around different areas in Metro Manila, and we teach people how to do urban agriculture. And in 2017, so I started my own farm, and I see urban agriculture as an accessible source of food. So if you can see that bitter gourd or ampalaya, we call it locally as ampalaya. It's around 18 inches in size, in length. So food access in Metro Manila is always threatened by its, as most of its food is sourced outside. So Metro Manila is very much reliant on other provinces. And our problem is, what if the food supply is cut? So Philippines is very much known for its typhoons. So we are being visited by around 20-25 typhoons per year. So a lot of these typhoons are devastating our agricultural areas. So in Barangay East Rembo, so the people there loves to plant, and there is also an urban farm and some pocket gardens that the locals are planting vegetables. So they also have their own materials recovery facility. So they collect all the recyclables, all the plastic waste, and they also do composting. So they collect food waste from local eateries and restaurants, and they compost it. So they use it for the inputs for the farm. So I went around the barangay, and I talked to the locals, and they see the opportunity with urban agriculture, and they saw that they can use the PET bottles for their planting. So that's why we came up with the project. So that is called the Urban Farm in East Rembo. So it's a community-supported agriculture, and we are aiming to provide accessible food for all. So basically, it's a farm. So with a farm, we have a production segment. So we are planting high-value vegetable crops, and also we are doing composting, other farm activities, and we try to sell the produce. But for its sustainability segment, the community is very much active in its contribution for the farm. So the community are bringing in those recyclables and all those biodegradable materials, and it's being sent to the farm for recycling and composting. In return, the farm will produce vegetables that is cheaper for the community because since there's no input cost, uh, the demand, the use for fertilizers is less, and then there's no transport cost since it is within it is within the city, it is within the community. So all in all, we call this system the waste to waste concept. So what are the long-term outcomes that we are looking into this project? So first, our aim is to have no one is left hungry within the community. Second, fresh food is always available at a cheaper price. We also want to promote health and well-being to the people. We want to promote environmental awareness in the community. So this is in line with the solid waste management of the local community as well. And we want to reduce the waste that is being produced for the landfills. So this is the farm before. This is around October 2018. As you can see, there are few plants, but last January, the Department of Agriculture has provided us the greenhouse for the plants, and then they also provided other inputs such as the shredder, some tools, and the gardening soil. So we try to estimate the values that the greenhouse can produce. So within that 50 square meters, so we can produce 150 kilos of tomato, eggplant around 75 kilos, and ampalaya. So these are the values that are estimated that can be produced within the greenhouse. So me as an agriculturist, so I train them, I train the people how to do proper planting. So I taught them how to use seedling trays, and also I taught them how to reuse PET bottles as an efficient container for the plants. So we call this the EPP, or the enhanced potting preparation. So we use a PET bottle, that's a 1.5 liter PET bottle. We cut it in half, and then we fill it with soil. So we put the plant, and then on the top part of the bottle, we put holes. So these are drainage holes. So when we put water, the bottom part will be the water reservoir, so that the watering will not be as regular. So we can water it maybe once or twice a week. So these are the plants, and after a few months, I visited them again. This is around April or May. This is the farm now. So as said earlier, Urban Agriculture PH is part of the Future Bridging Leaders Program of the Asian Institute of Management. And actually, I presented it on the plenary, and it won the top prize for the pitching competition. So also we have been featured with local media outfits such as Rappler and the NC. And here are our future activities for the farm. So we'll be providing trainings for the people who wants to go into urban agriculture. We want to promote awareness on proper waste segregation. And also we want to set up the farm as a trading hub for vegetables, and also for the waste that it can be collected. So I think this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. All right.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Erwin Belen. That was a very interesting presentation regarding your project here in the Philippines. And we'll continue later on with the questioning part, because we have a very limited time. So thank you so much again. So I will proceed with our next speaker. Let me fix this for a while. Okay, so All right. So our second speaker is from Nepal, and he is currently a Bachelor in Agriculture student at Agriculture and Forestry University in Rampur, Chitwan, in Nepal. So he has participated in the 21st World Congress on Safety and Health Work in Singapore. He is also a delegate at the International Youth Forum on Human Rights and SDGs in Kathmandu August 2018, and an oral presenter in International Youth Conference on Science, Technology, and Innovation in Kathmandu last October 21, 23 of this year. So currently he is the coordinator of the Nepalese Youth for Climate Action, or NYCA, Chitwan chapter from 2017 to present. So it's my great honor to introduce to you Mr. Manish Gautam of Nepal with his presentation, Climate Smart Agriculture, or CSA.
Thank you, Carl. Are you listening me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Can I share my presentation?
Yes, please proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Manish Gautam. I have already introduced myself. I am a representative of NYCA Chitwan and currently studying Bachelor in Agriculture at Agriculture and Forestry University, Nepal. My entire time in this webinar encompasses the idea of climate smart agriculture as a solution to secure our food system. I will be presenting my ideas with these outlines throughout the time. Okay, here are the outlines of my presentation. I will be talking about a few points about how agriculture and climate change are interrelated with each other, and we'll discuss about the overview of climate smart agriculture. What is it? What are the approaches encompassed within it? And thereby, I'll discuss about the 3 pillars of CSA: sustainable agriculture production, adaptation, and mitigation. Agriculture and climate change are not unknown terms to us. They are in fact closely interrelated. Agriculture contributes to climate change both by anthropogenic emission of greenhouse gases as well as by the conversion of non-agricultural land, such as forest, into agricultural land. Livestock and livestock-related activities, deforestation, and increasing fuel-intensive farming practices are responsible for over 18% of human-made greenhouse gas emissions, which includes 9% of global carbon dioxide emission, 35 to 40% of methane emission, 64% of global nitrous oxide emissions, which are mainly due to fertilizer use. And livestock sector is probably the largest contributor of methane gas emissions globally. Therefore, there is no doubt that agriculture sector is one of the largest contributor of climate change. Moreover, according to the report in 2010, agriculture was the second largest economic sector to contribute for greenhouse gas emissions as well. Similarly, in the picture, we can see that different agricultural practices are responsible for the emission of greenhouse gas emissions, such as the polling action during rice cultivation is mostly responsible for releasing methane gas during rice cultivation. Similarly, harvesting timbers, firewoods from the forest, deforestation, decomposing biomass, it releases carbon dioxide and methane gas as well. Similarly, use of extensive fertilizers in the soil causes soil quality to decline, as well as it also releases nitrous oxide gas and accumulation of acidic nitrate ions in the soil, which are ultimately harmful, and it causes harm to our soil quality. Therefore, agriculture is indeed the largest contributor of climate change. We can also see here a chart. It is the data of year 2010, and agriculture, forestry, and other land use economic sector has contributed about 20 to 25% greenhouse gas emissions in this year. From this also we can depict the data. At the same time, climate change has resulted several negative impacts on agriculture sector as well. The planet's climate is changing This is undeniable, and we have a critical challenge for global food security. The agriculture sector is hit the hardest by the consequences of climate change. Climate change poses great threat on agriculture, livestock, forestry, and fisheries in many uncountable ways. In the long run, the climate change could affect the agriculture in several ways, such as reducing the productivity of the and quality of the crops, and reducing the use of uh, herbicides, insecticides, and fertilizers, which causes detrimental environmental effects, particularly erosion, reduction in the quality of soil, pollution of air, water, as well as land. Similarly, it also poses great threat in the adaptation and survival of different organisms from water to land, as well as human beings. And it is estimated that population will rise by 9 billion, up to 9 billion by 2050. And to meet this demand, to meet the hunger of these many stomachs, we need to increase our production by 70% to secure food for all. Therefore, it is indeed a great responsibility. So what are the solutions? Farming communities need to build their resilience ability to adapt to the climate change in a way that they can feed growing population without further depleting our precious resources and reserves of soil and water. This is why we need climate smart agriculture as the solution to food security. CSA is not a method. Climate smart agriculture is a technique, an approach to identify the production system so that they can best respond to the impacts of climate change and adjust these systems to suit the local environmental conditions now and in the future. CSA mainly encompasses around three main areas: increasing sustainability, strengthening resilience, and reducing the emission of greenhouse gases. According to FAO, it is an approach which helps to mobilize the different agricultural practices and systems effectively to ensure food security in a long term. Not only short term, it ensures the food security for a long term so that our needs can be fulfilled along with future generations as well. Okay, the CSA can be categorized into three pillars. Actually, sustainability, adaptation, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions are the three pillars of CSA. While speaking about climate smart agriculture, we have many theories and generalized ideas about how agriculture should be. Because after all, agriculture practices need to overcome the effects of climate change as well as adapt to them to ensure food security by increasing the productivity as well as reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, sustainability, adaptation, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions are regarded as three pillars of the CSA. And the CSA aims to simultaneously achieve three outcomes, namely, number one, increasing productivity. We need to produce more food and boost the income of rural farmers, ensuring sustainable food production as well as stable income across the food value chain. Similarly, number two, enhance resilience. We must reduce the vulnerability to drought, pests, diseases, and other shocks, and improve capacity to grow and adapt in the face of longer term stresses like shortened seasons and erratic weather patterns. Similarly, we must strive to reduce the emissions. We must pursue lower emission for each calorie or kilo of food produced. We must avoid deforestation from agricultural practices and identify the ways by which carbon sequestration can be done through agricultural practices. CSA is distinct in many ways because of its explicit focus on addressing climate change, and it also considers the synergies and trade-offs that exist between the productivity, adaptation, and mitigation. So we have three questions in hand: how to achieve sustainability, how to adapt, and how to mitigate the climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emission. We must practice sustainable agriculture to meet the present and future needs as well. Our aims must be to produce more from less. Diversification of agriculture production, increasing productivity through biofertilizers, ensuring better income across the agriculture value chain, uplifting rural farmers are included as sustainable agriculture approach under CSA. The impacts of climate change is evident since we have few rains than past few decades, higher temperature across the globe, more pest resurgence, decrease in soil fertility, and many more. We need to adapt very soon. Water retention through mulching, water harvesting, use of biopesticides, and calculated dose of fertilizers are the measures to adapt and build resilience to climate change. Our agricultural practices must be aimed to ensure higher production of food and lower emission of greenhouse gases. Integrated livestock farming, minimum tillage, cover crops, crop rotation, using climate-friendly, non-fuel exhaustive operations in agriculture are a few of the many ways to minimize the emission of greenhouse gas emissions and ensure the carbon sequestration. As well as we must also think how to use the resources we have available efficiently so that they can be fruitful for our generation as well as they can be passed down for the future generations as well. Therefore, sustainability, adaptation, mitigation, these are the approaches we must strive to get to obtain under CSA approach. This is limited, but not excluding other agricultural improvement through mechanization and integration of technology. We can develop and breed resilient crop varieties which can combat different effects of climate change. Similarly, we can use improved species. Nowadays, different GMOs and hybrid varieties are also being developed to combat the detrimental effects of climate change. Similarly, we can capture and retain rainfall water for further use in the future, which helps to improve the irrigation practices. There are different techniques to retain water, such as contour trenching, building ponds and water reservoirs near nearby farms. Therefore, climate smart agriculture is not a single practice, not a single method. It is the integration of overall agricultural practices by which we can achieve sustainability and adapt to the climate change. These are some of the agricultural practices which can be included under CSA. Mulching, intercropping, drought-resistant varieties, integrated livestock farming, integration of technology, all of these are included under CSA. And these are the agricultural practices which are passed down from previous generations and from a few decades earlier as well. And what we have to do now is we need to integrate our technology, our innovations into these indigenous knowledge and indigenous practices. We must modernize our agriculture system without deteriorating their traditional values, without deteriorating their traditional benefits. We can practice mulching, intercropping, drought-resistant varieties, and they have their own respective benefits. Mulching provides water retention capacity and conservation of soil carbon. Intercropping helps diversify agri products. Drought-resistant varieties helps farmers combat stress period and maintain agricultural production. Similarly, water harvesting techniques can ensure available of water for irrigation and drought period, minimum or zero tillage. It is a very innovative method, but still we lack the practice practice of zero tillage and minimum tillage. It helps to maintain the soil structure and help carbon sequestration. Actually, the carbon is present in soil in pockets, and when we conduct extensive tillage operations, heavy tillage operations, then these pockets are destroyed and the carbon dioxide is released in the atmosphere. Therefore, minimum or zero tillage or conservation tillage helps to conserve these soil pockets which contain carbon dioxide and thus maintain the soil structure as well as help in carbon sequestration. Similarly, agroforestry helps to diversify agro products and forestry products, ensuring food security. Integrated livestock farming is the method in which we integrate different agricultural farming practice as a single entity. And the output of one agricultural practice is supplied as the input for another. For example, in rice fish integrated farming, the fish provides fertilizer to the rice in the form of its excreta, and the rice field contains different weeds which are the food for the fish. Therefore, at the same time, we can cultivate rice as well as fish. Therefore, such integrated livestock farming can also help to ensure food security, and it is also climate friendly as well. Integration of technology, it is compulsory in today's era if we want to maximize production and optimize the agricultural practices. And similarly, use of fertilizer. Last but not the least, use of fertilizers is the most dangerous practice we are currently following in our agricultural system, because use of chemical fertilizers has very much negative impacts on the soil, water, and air as well. Therefore, we need to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and promote the use of biofertilizers as well. Um, so these are some of the agricultural practices which can be integrated as CSA approach. And CSA as investment.
Sorry for intruding.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Mr. Gautam. And your presentation was really interesting, and it was my first time personally to know about the CSA. And there's one question from Miss Casey Shreya, and it says that Mr. Manish Gautam, could you please add some exemplary examples or exemplary works on CSA? She said that
I'll be adding it
about it. Okay,
I'll be adding it soon. Okay, thank you for your suggestion. Okay, I would like to continue my presentation, and I will add some examples too. Okay, CSA is an approach, but it cannot be fulfilled by farmers. Therefore, it requires investment in agriculture and knowledge of local institutional practices as well as harmonized policy. So, you asked about an example. I have presented here an example of CSA. This is an CSA practice which is currently being practiced in Kenya by Joshua, and in this practice he has integrated several agricultural practices in his farm. He has a kitchen garden, a pond, solar energy to supply energy for all of his agricultural operations. And he also has a small livestock under his CSA farm. Similarly, he has planted trees, the fence line around his farm. Similarly, the trees act as shade and fodder building. Also, he has chickens. So basically, he utilizes the products of livestock and his garden, from where he obtains his food and sustains himself. Similarly, the water pond here, he uses it as well as use the water for irrigation during lean period. Similarly, solar energy here, he utilizes it to supply energy to his agricultural operations. It is of course climate friendly. Therefore, his overall approach is to sustain himself as well as earn some money for himself, so that he can become sustainable, so that he can sustain in terms of both as well as income. And this kind of example, this kind of CSA approach is present currently in many parts of the world, and this is slowly being practiced and integrated into our lifestyle. I have prepared a short video about climate smart agriculture, and I hope all of you will get some insights. So, is the audio available?
I think there's a problem with the audio.
Sorry?
I think there's a problem with the audio.
are you not listening it? Okay. So can you hear it? Can you hear it?
170 million farms around the world
Yeah,
are
yeah.
facing the threat of climate change head on. And yet we're demanding more from agriculture than ever before. More food for our growing population. Better incomes for those working across the food chain. And the careful management of our planet's soils and water resources. This is no easy task. How can our agriculture sector step up to this challenge? The answer? Climate smart agriculture. Climate smart agriculture aims to help find new ways to adapt and thrive under climate change. It's based on 3 interlinked goals: increasing agricultural productivity and incomes sustainably and equitably, helping food systems and farming livelihoods be more resilient, and minimizing agriculture's greenhouse gas emissions. Farms of every type and every size can become climate smarter. For example, by identifying and promoting sustainable farming practices and tools, using inputs more efficiently and effectively to grow more from less, and building markets where farmers can access what they need and sell any surplus of what they produce. Climate change is a challenge to our food system, but it's also an opportunity to be climate policy and investment solutions that our farmers need.
Climate change is actually affecting farmers in the region. Sometimes you actually have rains when we are not expecting. We have droughts when we are not expecting.
The pests, the new weeds, invasive species.
We have observed the winters that they are much more longer than usual.
Everyone say climate change affect their daily life, affect their crop, affect their production, affect their activities in agriculture especially.
All right, thank you, Mr. And that was quite a very interesting presentation. And
De acuerdo a los cambios climáticos, es sumamente importante y es muy importante tener muchos registros de lo que ha pasado en el campo durante los últimos 100 años.
Farmers are finding ways of responding to climate change. Intercropping and multiple cropping.
Thank you so much.
Companion planting.
So,
crop rotation.
Okay,
Swedish farmers,
let's proceed
try to
to
do,
the questions.
try to use the best practices for everything, for
questions with the speakers. So, can I ask for the last final question from Ms. Casey Shreya regarding your question that you sent? Because we're running out of time. Apologies for that.
Hello, thank you,
Yes,
Manish,
I can
for
hear
the
you.
wonderful
Yes.
presentation. Now, I want to know about some exemplary works on climate smart agriculture that is being implemented in Nepal. This much.
All right, that was a question for Mr. Manish Gautam.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Okay, we can hear you now, Mr. Manish Gautam. Okay, I guess Ms. Shreya, can you please repeat the question, and then we'll wrap up our webinar.
Yeah, were you asking me something, Shajan?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question that you said earlier? That
Okay,
was a question regarding best practices about climate smart agriculture in Nepal.
yeah, once again, I just want to know some examples of climate smart agriculture being implemented in Nepal.
Okay, sorry, I had some technical problems here. My net was quite slow. Okay. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Actually, climate smart agriculture is not a new concept, but just it involves some of the modern agriculture practices, and we need to integrate some agricultural technologies. So, not in many parts of the Nepal, but there are several climate smart villages being established in Nepal, and I have visited one of such sites in Chitwan district. There, he had established a floriculture farm, as well as he had reared a large poultry farm beside nearby his floriculture farm, where he had almost about 3,000 layer poultry for obtaining eggs. So I visited the farm along with some of my friends, and I asked him about it, and he just said he got the training from the district agriculture office before it was collapsed, and he received training on how to integrate two different agricultural practices as a single entity and how to gain benefits from them. So what he does is he rears the poultry. He utilizes the manure and litters from the poultry and applies as a fertilizer, applies as a manure in his floriculture farm. Therefore, he doesn't need to buy chemical fertilizers, and thus can utilize the compost and the organic manure he obtains from his poultry farm. But and similarly, he utilizes the seeds, the grains, and the wastage that he obtains in the floriculture farm to make litters and bed for his poultry farm. But however, he is also thinking now to establish a vermicompost site in his farm area, so that he can utilize more organic manure for his horticulture farm, because it is still not sufficient to fulfill the fertilizer requirement in his farm with poultry manure alone. So basically, this is a single CSA approach I have visited so far, but I believe there are many CSA examples being practiced throughout the Nepal. So does it fulfill your query, Ms. Ria?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Manus, for clearing. I do have some confusions, but due to the time limit, I will not be asking here. I think we can communicate individually next time.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Mr. Ria and Mr. Gautam. And I have one last question. Sorry. I would like to ask Mr. Belen, if it's okay. Since we're both
Sure.
I'd like to ask about urban agriculture is a new concept to me. And I want to know about its role in climate mitigation, basically. So how can urban agriculture contribute to climate mitigation and climate adaptation efforts as well?
All right. So with urban agriculture, we're trying to reduce the transportation of food coming from the provinces. So instead of having those vegetables from, let's say, the Mountain Province, Benguet, or Laguna, which is a few kilometers away from Metro Manila, we're trying to promote localized production of food. So that's how urban agriculture contributes to how to mitigate climate. So have I answered your question?
Yes. All right. Yeah, I got it now. Maybe it's agriculture is a very new concept, and later on I would like to study more about it, and of course visit the urban farm at East Rembo in Makati, in Metro Manila, right?
Sure, no problem. You can visit the farm. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, I guess this wraps up our webinar on AgriClimate awareness, which is a webinar of both youth initiatives for climate smart agriculture in Asia Pacific, and we look forward to productive outputs and initiatives that our respective organizations are being done. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and this ends our webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for making this webinar happen.